right? Speaking about the kosher shofar, right? One of the things that render the shofar not kosher, right? A crack, right? There's two cracks, horizontal and vertical. What's the difference? When it's horizontal, right? What's the size, what's the minimum size of a shofar? Minimum.
Tefach.
The Gemara says tefach, but yotzeh mikan, exactly. You have to hold it in your palm of the hand. You have to be able to put it in your palm of the hand, cover it, but it has to stick out a little bit from this side and a little bit from the other side. Why? When you're going to blow the shofar, it should not look that you're blowing into your hand. You know, there is choirs, they play a cappella. A cappella is songs without means there's no musical instruments, and they make the sounds. So there's one guy says, and you think today they're so real, you really think you hear in the background, you hear a drum, you hear a guitar, you hear anything, right? So maybe the guy is playing us a game. He came to Bet HaKnesset, he came to shul, and he's going, wow, it sounds like a shofar. Basically, he has nothing in his hand. So in order to see the shofar has to stick out from this side and this side, just a drop, so I can see there's a shofar in his hand and he's not playing games, right? Okay. If you get a horizontal, horizontal. If you get a vertical, just smack in the middle of the shofar, it's kosher. You know why? Because technically I can cut off. I still have shofar. I still have the shofar. It's right over here though. But I still have all this. It's over here. I still have all this, right? If it's too high, right, then you have a problem. That's what the horizontal, okay, horizontal. But if the crack is vertical, that's a problem. Why? Even a small crack. How does the vertical crack come about? How does it happen? By blowing. Because you blow, the air with time puts pressure on the horn, and it starts cracking. Now, what's going to happen? Once you get a small crack, you're going to continue blowing. A crack which is vertical is going to go down all the way. If it goes down all the way, you're not going to have at the end the size of a shofar. So vertical is a problem. Horizontal is less than a problem, as long as it's under tefach. Means under, I have a tefach over here, I have a fist size over here, a little bit more, and it's under, it's kosher. Okay? So this is one of the things, right? That's why again, you need a echsher, you need a kosher sign to see that the shofar was not cracked or something like this, right? So now there was a question asked, like 25 years ago, even 30, Ovadia. Somebody had a very old shofar, 30-year shofar, that used to blow every year. With time, it got a hole. We explained in the previous video, hole is not kosher, right? Unless you fix it the kosher way. Sometimes it's very hard to fix it. So Avadia was asked. So Avadia says, the only way the shofar with a small hole, it was very small hole. This wasn't a big hole, it's a very small hole. He said the only way to be kosher, if the owner, the one blowing it, knows that the sound of the shofar did not change. You recognize the sound of the shofar. The problem of a hole, why is a hole not kosher? It changes the sound of the shofar. Air comes out and it's a different sound. So it's not natural anymore. But if you know that this small hole does not change the sound of the shofar, you blow it for 30 years, right? And you have to be honest. If not, it's a mitzvah d'oraita. If you're going to cheat, like there's 200 people, 300 people listening to you, and you're not including them in the mitzvah, right? So if you say, I blow the shofar 30 years, and I see the sound did not change, it's still the same sound, right? So Avadia permitted it, but again, it's a very small hole. If it's more than a small hole, right, that's already a problem, right? So that's why always make sure, if you have a doubt on the shofar, right, it has a crack. Sometimes you see those cracks, but those cracks is only paint cracks. It's like on the superficial. But some cracks are really, I just saw 2 days ago, a shofar. You look at it, it looks perfect. Looks perfect. But then my son, it was his shofar, he told me, but I think I have a hole. I said, you have a hole? So then really I started to examine it close, and I saw there was a hole. You could not see it. You couldn't see it because the color from the inside reflected on the outside, and it looked like it's one piece. Like if you wouldn't tell me there's a hole, I wouldn't be able to see it, right? Unless I examine it, right? So sometimes, every time before you come to Bet HaKnesset or Rosh Hashanah, it's good the Chazan, the Tokea, Baal Tokea, they should examine the shofar. There's no holes, there's no cracks, right? And if there is, you should ask a question, right? Sometimes the Chazan is used to one shofar, he doesn't want to let go. Okay, but ask the question if it's kosher. If it's not kosher, how you want to include everybody with your mitzvah? It's a responsibility to include the whole kahal.
So going back to the